know I can go to the backyard and get me an apple, right? I'm never going to be hungry. I might say never, but you know, the chances of being hungry if I got apple trees in my backyard are much lower than if I have no apple trees at all. And then if I get old and die, then I'm going to pass the apple trees on to my descendants so that they can have trees to eat off of when they get older too. I don't sell them all so that I have no trees to leave, because that would make me a terrible uncle, terrible father, whatever the case is. What do you think about HRIS, high risk stock bonds? I'm sorry, Larry Tate, I can't understand that question. It looks like you might have a typo in there. Daryl, my son just opened his first business last month. It's a retail sales business here in the state of California. He wants to know, is it better to hire employees now or wait until the business starts to make a profit? I would wait. I wouldn't hire anybody until you can sustain employees. Once people start working for you, they're going to depend on that money. And if you can't maintain that financial security for them, then they're going to get mad at you when you can't do it. They're going to look at you like you're supposed to be the person that's always got enough money to do whatever you want. And nobody's going to have any sympathy when you come back to them and tell them that you're not making a profit and you got to cut back. So before you make a commitment to somebody, make sure that you're sure that that's a person you want to make a commitment to, and make sure that you're sure that you can sustain that commitment. Black businesses have a harder time making long-term financial commitments because we don't have, billion-dollar bank loans that we can lean on to protect us in case things don't work out. So I'm very slow to make long-term permanent hires. I bring in contractors for temporary jobs. I try people out 3 months, then I try another 3 months, then I try another 3 months, and then after about a year or two, if I see what I see and it's good, then maybe I talk about keeping them in full-time or permanently. But I don't make long-term commitments to people I don't know. I don't make long-term commitments to situations that I'm not sure about, because you got to be really careful and you got to always stay flexible just in case things go bad. Because believe me, once you become the boss, your chances of becoming the devil go way up. I mean, meaning that you can do a million nice things for a million people, but that one person where you couldn't come through for them and you say, I'm sorry, I got to let you go, I wish I could do more, that person will be the first one to call you a son of a bitch, no matter how much work you've done for that person, no matter how hard you tried to help that person. So you got to be ready for that as the boss. So the best way to do that is to really manage expectations. I had a friend that started a business with just a few dollars, and he got the revenue up to $20 million a year, and he was hiring a lot of his friends from the hood and relatives that didn't have much education. And what happened with him was when money started getting tight, and he started going back to those same people, asking them to do to take a pay cut. They were cussing him out. Like, they were really mad at him. They felt he had betrayed them by asking them to take a pay cut. And he was like, I don't have the money. Like, what am I supposed to do? And they were like, you got the money. You can afford to do it, blah, blah, blah. And so that's the way it is. It just comes with the territory. So just make sure you're ready for that. Because when people start seeing you as the boss, they don't see you as a person that has problems and struggles. They see you as a person that has an infinite supply of money. So let's see. If I'm 45 and need to invest and only have a small amount of money, what can I do to start? Acorn Stash and Robinhood, you can start those accounts for $5. I know people that invest $5 a week. Invest the amount of money it costs to buy a Popeye's chicken sandwich. So if you can afford to go to Popeye's and buy a chicken sandwich, then you can afford to invest. No excuses. Let's do it. Come on, you can do it. Let's see. What percentage of your annual income would you suggest starting out in investing? It depends. I mean, whatever, the higher the number, the better off you are. Just make sure that if you buy stocks, that you're not investing money in the stock market that you're going to need in the near future, because that can throw off your finances if you do that. Let's see, Quentin, I'm doing Lyft part-time and self-employed personal training part-time, along with some other gigs, making $30K. Good for you. I have my BS. I spent $94,000 on. Woof. Should I go back and get an AS as a physical therapy assistant, or should I hustle for more clients? I want to get married to my fiance next year and make more money for my family. Well, Quentin, first of all, I applaud you for being a black man with a plan. That right there increases your chances of success by about 90%, right? Because success does not happen by accident, right? So the fact that you're thinking things through, you're making a plan, means you're going to be okay. So whatever you're going through, whatever challenges you're having, whatever fears and concerns you have, let some of that go, because you're going to be all right. Just keep moving forward, keep doing what you're doing. Now, here's the thing. If you're talking about making one move or the other, both moves can be good. Both moves can be good. Just make sure that it's the move that works for you. Do you want to be a physical therapy assistant? Is that something that you would enjoy? Are there jobs available, and are these jobs that you would enjoy having? If the answer is no, then I would hustle to get more clients. That way, because the good thing about knowing how to run your own business, which is I love the most, is that you can shape your day into whatever you want it to be. Like like being the boss means, if I decide that there's something I have to do every day that I don't want to do, I go hire somebody else to do it, and then I go do something else, right? Or if I don't like the business I'm in, I just go invest money and get into another line of business. I start doing something different, right? So I think that flexibility is so much fun, and I think I guess everybody isn't going to love it. Maybe some people want to be told what to do, but I'm not one of them. I don't enjoy being told what to do. Let's see here. So good luck with your marriage. Congratulations to you. Go read a book. Make sure you read a book on how to stay married. Like everything that you need to know is in a book somewhere. Make sure you learn from experts that can teach you tips that are going to help you be successful, because marriage is one of the biggest investments that you make in life. It's it's the biggest investment you'll ever make, financially and otherwise. Justin, what did you take on crowdfunding investing versus stock investing? Are you talking about, okay, crowdfunding investing? You mean raising money through crowdfunds? Or investing in crowdfund investing. I don't know how to compare those two exactly based on the questioning and ways laid out. I would say, I guess, if you're talking about investing in crowdfunded platforms, equity-based crowdfunding, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They're just different. I don't know if one's always better than the other. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it depends on what you enjoy. I think crowdfund investing is cool, where you buy equity in these new ideas. In fact, that makes me think I actually want to look some of that up, and maybe I'll put some money in some of that stuff. But stock investing is cool because you're talking about stable companies that have been carefully vetted by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So that's probably a little bit safer. It's a little bit better market. Definitely a little more liquid. Liquid meaning that you can get your money out faster. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind. Elaine, how can you get money for real estate to get rental property? Well, you don't have to put up as much money as you might think, but you may want to pull together with a group of people. Those of you who are thinking about flying to New York for our investment seminar, one of the benefits of coming to our investment seminars is that the people that we bring together are people who are ready to invest. So these can become great people you can work with that will invest in your business. If you have an idea that is already making money and you need extra capital, smart people will be happy to provide the capital that you need to grow. Because smart people, are sort of sitting on money, and they're like, I need somewhere to put this money so I can turn it into more money. So if you present them something, when you say, look, hey, I put in this much and I made that much, then they're going to be like, okay, great, let's scale. How much can I put in? How can I help you? Right? So basically with these seminars, what you're doing, the next one in New York is drboycenewyork.com. One of my main objectives is not just to teach and to guide, but to build an economy right there in that room, to build wealth right there in that room, to build businesses right there in that room, to form partnerships right there in that room, to form networks right there in that room, so that when you walk away, you won't just be smarter. Anybody, you can go to a university and give them $100,000 for a 4-year degree, and they can make you smarter, right? We're cheaper than that, much less expensive than that, but that's not the magic bullet to me. The magic bullet for teaching finance for Black people is, how do I help you actually make more money? Like, how can I guarantee that when you get done, you're not going to look back and say, oh my God, I had a great time and I really like doing this for Boyce. Forget Boyce. I want you to walk away saying, I had a great time, I learned a lot, and I really did well for myself, because now I have 5 or 6 partnerships that have improved what I'm trying to do. I have experts in my corner who can teach me things. I have people that will go to war with me and actually put their money where their mouth is. I've connected with serious Black people who aren't just talking about what they're going to do, they're following through, because you can't be in that room for free. There is a fee, there is an investment you must make to be in that room. It ain't that much compared to other seminars, but I set it that way because I don't want everybody in the room who's just going to waste people's time. I want people in that room who have gotten to a level where they've proven that they value this, right? Because really, seriously, like, for the lowest pass we have doesn't cost more than Beyonce tickets were at her last concert. But I know a lot of people who will spend money going to a Beyonce concert, but won't spend that same amount going to an investment seminar. Those are not people that I want to work with. I'll work with them, on YouTube, or talk to them, for free on the Black Business School every now and then. But those are not the people that I want in a room full of investors, because I want people that are ready to build, that are ready to either bring together capital, networks, expertise, or a customer base that allows everybody to get something done. And I can show you exactly how to build an economy right there in your family, so that you don't actually have to really go outside of that to make anything happen. Like in our family right now, what I love is that we have an economy in our family. We basically know how to get capital from each other. We know it so we can invest in one another. We know how to get customer bases from each other. We lend each other labor all the time. And it's beautiful. Like, it's great. It's like we don't even have to talk to anybody else if we don't want to. Okay, so that's the goal. That's the line of thinking. So if you want to come out, feel free, go to drboycenewyork.com. In fact, for those of you that, that want, because you're here, if you want a special discount code, you can use the code word New York, the whole word New York, one word, not two. There's a few more slots at this discount rate. Feel free to use the code word New York when they ask for your promo code, and you can get 50% off every single package. Every package will be automatically 50% off if you use the code word New York when you go to drboycenewyork.com. It's October 27th. You're going to love it. I guarantee it. And if you don't love it, just tell us and we're happy to give you your money back. All right. So anyway, let me keep going. Grace, I'm in the process of opening a factory on organic baby food in Africa. That's so cool. But I can't decide on location due to various issues in different countries. How do I choose the right location? Well, if you're going to go to any country, find people you trust in that country that can make sure that you don't get ripped off. I think there are opportunities in a lot of countries. I can't tell you exactly which ones because I'm still learning about Africa. When I went to FraserNet, which that's an example when you talk about going to a space where you can network and make great contacts. I spent some money going to the George Fraser conference, FraserNet, and the amount of opportunity and money and partnerships I got from that visit was about 100 times worth 100 times more than what I paid for that ticket. Like I would pay for that ticket 50 times over just for that one experience in terms of the people that I connected with. You've seen some of these people like billionaire Mike Roberts, my brother who was on The Apprentice, Dr. Randall Pinkett Jr., Dr. George Fraser, some other people, right? So ultimately, I think those networks are extremely important. And so one of the things that the FraserNet conference is pursuing right now is going to Africa and really developing trade relationships between African Americans and various countries on the African continent. So I would definitely get with some people who know their way around and make absolutely 100% sure you can trust them. Do not just sort of feel your way around, do trial and error, because that's not going to work out so well for you. It can go badly. And I see Shimon is asking, Grace, which countries are you looking into? So maybe Shimon knows more than I do. So please feel free to share this information. I would love to have you guys talk to each other. All right, so let's see here. Moses says, I have 2 policies. Good for you, 2 life insurance policies. If you want to know where I get my life insurance, I go to theblackinsurancenetwork.com, THE, that's theblackinsurancenetwork.com, theblackinsurancenetwork.com, not life insurance, theblackinsurancenetwork.com. They can get you all kinds of insurance. There's a lady there named Yolanda, so tell her that I sent you, and that way I can put you in her face and be like, oh, I sent a lot of my friends to you. You better take good care of them. So feel free to reach out to theblackinsurancenetwork.com. How can you have a family business if your family can't get along? It's very tough to do. The next book I'm working on is a book on codes of conduct and standards and procedures you got to put in place to get your family members on code. If you got relatives that'll steal from you, lie to you, not follow through with you, then it's very difficult to form any sort of economic system with them. Most economic systems are based on trust. A lot of black people can't trust each other because we've traumatized each other, because we've been traumatized by white supremacy. So ultimately, if you have relatives that are going to continuously re-traumatize you, you may have to minimize your business relationships with those individuals until you feel that they're prepared to understand what the code of conduct is. So anytime I have anybody who comes along in my family that wants to work with me, and it happens because I'm a magnet for relatives who need money. I just tell them, I'm like, these are the codes, these are the standards. If you can't follow the codes, then you don't need to be here. By the way, most of the questions I'm going to answer today are in the Zoom chat. If you're on Instagram or on YouTube, I won't see your questions because there's literally 15 more questions right here. I don't want to try to get to as many as possible. If you want to be in the Zoom chat next time where I'll see your question, go get at least a free membership in the Black Business School. Go to theblackbusinessschool.com. This is for the students, but I let other people listen in so you can see how great this is and how much we know. And maybe you'll come and give us a try because we know we can help you. And in fact, our programs, the investment is minimal compared to what you probably spent going to college. And also we have, unlike your university, we have a money back guarantee. So there's no risk to you whatsoever. If you're not happy for any reason, we always will give you your money back because we do not want people running around thinking that we're just in this for some sort of money grab. But we do want you to support what you're doing because this is a university that's built for you, by you. So we're asking you guys to consider supporting us the way you might have supported the University of Montana or wherever you might have went to college. Elaine Cargbo, yes, I do, but it's not enough. You need to pay off the mortgages and burial expenses. Don't make them start ground zero. Oh, she's talking about insurance. I agree 100%. I'm interested in diverse portfolio with real estate and stocks. Can you help me? Yeah, there are codes in there where you can get 40% off our real estate program or all of our other programs. If you go to theblackbusinessschool.com, you talk to Jessica or Chanel. I think Brian might be in there. They can just tell them to give you 40% off, and just tell them I sent you, and they'll do it for you. Our real estate program is really good. It's taught by Julian Gordon, who is a real estate expert who graduated from Stanford University, who controls about $3.3 million in property. And basically he teaches you how to get multifamily properties, no matter what your credit score is, no matter what your income is. He can help you figure out your pathway to get there. So feel free to go check that out, theblackbusinessschool.com. Maurice Williams. I have been investing after listening to you, Dr. Boyce, for 5 to 6 months, but I'm not seeing any gains. I invest at least $500 a month. That's okay, Maurice. Here's where you gained. Maurice, let me tell you how you gained. Let me ask you a question, Maurice. You don't have to answer it. I want you to just answer it in your mind. That $500, if you hadn't invested that money, what would you have done with it? What would you have done with it? At best, you would have put it in a savings account, which you know isn't going to make you any more money, and money erodes in value over time because of inflation. Chances are, if you hadn't invested that money, you probably would have spent it. That's what most people do with our money. That's why people live paycheck to paycheck. So let's say that you invest for the next 5 years and something unbelievable happens. Let's say, Maurice, that you invest for 5 years, $500 a month, $6,000 a year, $30,000. And let's say that the impossible happens. Something that's never happened in the history of the stock market that I know of. You don't make any gains whatsoever. Like, you literally just, your 30,000 is nothing but 30,000. Or let's say it drops to 28,000. So after 5 years, you put in 30,000, you got 28,000 because something unbelievable has occurred where your money did not grow at all, which again, that's rarely happened throughout the history of the entire stock market. But let's say that it did happen. Remember though, if you hadn't invested that money, you would have spent it. You wouldn't have any money to show for it. But at least now you've got $30,000 or $28,000 to show for the $30,000 that you had, right? Imagine if you could go back the last 10 years and just collect 60% of all the money you blew in the last decade. I want you guys to guess in the chat. How much money do you think you'd have in your account right now if you could build a time machine and go back and collect just 60% of all the money that you've spent in the last decade? How much money do you think you'd have? How much? Think about it. I mean, imagine, like, just allow yourself, like, openly. I see Frederick roll, ooh wee, right? And I see Mia Fiatis is like, woo, right? That would be a lot of money, right? Like, think about that, right? If you make, 50 grand a year and you were spending, let's say the IRS is taking 20 of that, right? So you got 30,000 a year and you blew all of it and you had 60% of that, 18,000 a year for a decade is $180,000. Like, you would have lots of money, right? You would have a ton of money. But this money could have been put in failed investments. It could have been put in investments that literally lost 40% of their value, but you're still better off than most people because most people don't even do that. Most people spend their money and end up broke. Most people blow it all. They blow the whole bag and have nothing. At least you would have something. And that's the key idea. The first step in investing is not to go invest your money so you can get rich. The first step is to stop the bleeding so you don't get broke, right? The first step is to plug the leak, not to fill the bucket. It's to plug the leak in so that you don't end up making yourself broke by doing what everybody else is doing. Because most people I know, they blow every penny and they can't stop working because they have nothing to show for all the money they've made over the last 5 or 10 years. At least you'd have something to show for it. So don't worry about making a whole lot of money really fast. It's about changing the culture in your household, changing your habits, so you end up in a better position than you were in before. Jessica and Chanel, if you could share those links again to the discounts for your programs, for the entrepreneurship program, and also for the stock market investing class. the 40% off discount. Somebody just asked for it, so I want to make sure that they get it. And also, if you go to theblackbusinessschool.com and you talk to them, just tell them I said give you 40% off whatever programs you want to sign up for. I don't care. I just want you guys to have a reason to want to join. How many different stock types would constitute a diverse portfolio? That's a great question. The theory says about 22 or 23 different stocks. Typically on average leads to a fully diversified portfolio. How many children do you plan to train in the Black Business School? How many enrolled so far? I think we've gotten up to almost 10,000. I want to train 1 million. Like I want to train the whole generation. I want every black child on the planet to have an opportunity to understand the basics of wealth building. I want that to be I want that to be a bigger fad than hip hop music. And I think that it's not that hard of a sell to convince people to understand that money is important. So that's the goal, right? So my goal is to take over the world.